Welcome back to my series, Healthiest, Happiest, Hottest, where I share everything that I have done that has helped me become the healthiest, happiest, and hottest I've ever been in my life at 31 years old. Why I'm not getting married this weekend, but instead I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah. So this week is officially the 1-year anniversary of my ex-fiancé calling off our engagement by packing his bags while I was at work. Well, I may or may not have just committed to not using dating apps at all in 2026. So apparently me not accepting coffee dates was a controversial hot take. I was supposed to be going on a date tonight and I just canceled it. If you're new to going out alone, this is what you need to be doing in order to get approached. And this is coming from a seasoned vet of going out solo. Tonight is single girls night out. Welcome back. It is another day of me in Southwest Florida trying to find out where the young people are here. As someone who just moved here, I'm going to give you my 6 non-negotiables when it comes to a first date. And this is coming from a 31-year-old who's looking for something more serious long-term. This is not for short-term fun. One thing that I've noticed is I think I'm in that weird age gap. I meet a lot of men who are 26 and younger, and then it's like the 40 plus who are already divorced or even older than that. I have a question for my fellow single ladies in their early 30s. What ages are you dating? Because I was talking with my friend last week. I was telling her I'm ready to start dating again. And she asked me what ages I'd be open to dating. And I said, I have no idea. Because over the summer, I dated a 25-year-old and a 37-year-old. And the 25-year-old was more mature than the 37-year-old. So if you're in your early 30s.
No, ma'am, that's not true. It just seemed that way to you. Why? Because the younger guy tried 10 times harder because he wanted sex. Because he can't get women his age. The older guy didn't care, ma'am. He probably has multiple options. So, of course, the younger guy will act more serious because he wants to get laid.
Are you having better luck with older guys or younger guys? Because I personally just can't seem to find guys in their early 30s who are single.
By the way, guys, stay till the end because I have an interesting video at the end for you to see. Logic, logic, logic. And as always, if you enjoy my videos, consider subscribing.
Quick cry, Pilates, second cry, coffee, go.
Dating apps when you're over 30 are just like a really sad place, and I don't understand why. Like, it really, every time I go on there, I feel like I lose hope.
My name's Meredith. I'm 37. I'm single and I have no kids. And I've decided that 2026 is the year that I'm going to make myself the fittest and hottest version, mind, body, soul, because literally, why not? It's now or never, babes. Like, what are we doing?
Apparently, if you're single 30 with no children, you're a red flag. Yikes. I have never been so proud to be called a red flag in my fucking life.
I honestly just couldn't give two shits about dating anymore. I don't see the point in it.
We can see that by the nose rings, ma'am.
No one can be bothered to even do bare minimum these days.
I'm going to say, but nobody else will. If you keep walking around saying you just want a relationship and you want something real, but yet you keep finding yourself in situationships, fuckboys, narcissists, and the emotionally unavailable.
It's because of you. You choose those people. Nobody's forcing you to date them, to talk to a man like that or women like that. It's on you. Take accountability.
Then the reality is you're not actually ready for that. Because, baby, it starts with what you allow.
The thing about men that I had to learn the hard way through divorce is that, honey, they ain't changing. The shit that shows up in your relationship now, the character flaws that you see now, they're not going to magically go away. They only get worse as time goes on.
Why do you go in that relationship wanting him from the start to change? Why don't you get a man that is exactly like you want and date him, marry him? Why are you trying to date the bad boys and then trying to change them when they cheat or when they don't treat you right? You knew they were like that from the start.
I've given up on men. I'm resigning 2025 over and out. Men are just a constant disappointment. The more time goes on and the more...
Again, proving my point. Do you actually think that all the men in this world are a disappointment? No, it's the men that you go after. Why? Because you're only attracted to the top percentages of men. The men that have all the options, those men won't treat you right. Why? Because they don't care, because to them you're just another number.
Or experiences I have, I genuinely feel like I will be happier on my own.
I'm gonna go get back to Chicago, have a positive attitude about dating, and then today I have a guy text me that he has to cancel the date tonight.
You can always tell by the glasses. Just look at the glasses. The color, the frame, how big they are, the nose ring. You can always tell, guys.
So now I'm back to square one of hating dating. And if you think you're getting another date, honey.
I'm fully convinced that men don't know how to talk to women anymore, because a man came up to me a couple of weeks ago and his opening line was, "You look like you can drink more than me."
I need to know.
I'm sorry to say it, ma'am, but that's true. Because I don't drink.
How is everyone married, getting divorced, finding someone, and getting married again? And the whole time, I've been single. I've literally seen girls who have broke up and then already a year later or 2 years later found someone else and are already getting married. And I'm like, wait a minute. Am I broken? It's been...
Don't worry, ma'am. People who rush in new relationships and ignore the red flags and settle for the first guy or the first woman that comes up to them, that meets them, they will end up back in divorce, ma'am. You can see in the studies what's the rate for divorce in second marriages or in third marriages. It only gets worse and worse and worse.
It's been 4 years, you guys, since I ended my relationship.
Being single in your 30s while all your other friends are engaged, married, or having kids kind of feels like when the server brings out everybody's food except for yours. And at first you're like, no worries, I'll wait. Mine's probably just taking a little bit longer to prepare, please. Please dig in. Do not wait for me. Mine will be here shortly. More time passes, everyone's halfway through their meal and you've still got absolutely nothing. And you start to wonder, do I exist? Am I here, or did someone forget about me?
Ma'am, just keep waiting a little longer. Prince Charming will fall from the sky, ma'am. You don't have to do anything.
I actually know this is going to be a controversial opinion, and it really shouldn't be, but unfortunately this app is obviously full of much younger women who are having their canon event of dating a much older guy. So this is going to probably rile up a few people, but I'm going to say what I'm going to say.
Okay.
That man who's 28 upwards, especially for the guys that are 30 upwards, dating somebody in their really early 20s, that guy's a predator. Even if he's not technically doing anything illegal, a man in his 30s, when I think about it as a woman now in her 30s, and I was that younger girl that dated older, and I was that young.
Can you see it, guys? So when she was in her 20s, she dated older men. Now that she's 30-something and the men her age don't want her, want younger women, now it's a problem, guys. Now we're predators. Now we're grooming. They know they can't compete with younger women, so what do? They shame us. If you don't like me, either you're gay or you're a predator because you like younger women. That's their logic, guys.
Younger girl that had loads of older men try and come on to her. Being 30 now, I can look at men who are in their early 20s who look like men. They've got beards, they're good looking, they're hot, and think, God, he's fit. And the second I find out how old he is, I'm instantly turned off because I'm like, what do you mean you're a baby?
How can he be a baby at 20-something when he can drive, he can drink, he goes to the army in case of a war, ma'am? It's mandatory for him to go in the army so he can kill people or get killed. But somehow he's a baby. Somehow he can own a gun. Somehow he can drive, he can drink, he can do everything he wants, but he's a baby. No, ma'am, he's a grown man. Can you see their logic, guys? They don't know what to say anymore to shame us into wanting them because they know they've hit the wall.
I really just need to know if...
By the way, she never said anything wrong to those women in their 20s that date older men. No, it's all on the man. Of course.
This is happening to anyone else or if it's just me. But in the past couple of weeks, I've had dates lined up with guys, mostly ones that they've initiated, let me add. And genuinely, I'm going to say like 3 or 4 times in the past 2 weeks, they've either cancelled on me the day before, completely ghosted me, or the worst, cancelled on me 45 minutes before. Once my makeup's done, I'm dressed, I'm ready to go, I'm J'd up. Like, why?
Because he found somebody better, ma'am. Because you were just an option. That's it. Because maybe he didn't want to go anymore. Because you're not worth it to him, ma'am. It's so easy. Do you understand that when a guy really likes you, he will let you know? When a guy really likes you, he's not hesitant. He wants to go on a date. He doesn't make false promises. He doesn't ghost. But they don't understand. They have to make up scenarios in their head why that guy ghosted them. It's because he doesn't like you.
Genuinely, why?
I'm 36. I'm not married and I don't have kids. And I've been greeted with a lot recently with people being like, oh. And I just feel like there's a lot of women who probably need to hear that it's okay to not have that at this point in your life. Like, so.
Another woman giving bad advice. Do you understand, ma'am? The older you are, the harder and harder and harder it is to find a man that you like, that you want to spend the rest of your life with. So how can you tell other women, oh, it's okay? Just because you failed in your life, it doesn't mean that all women should fail because it's okay. Maybe other women don't want an okay life. Maybe they want a great life. Maybe they want kids, a lot of kids. We're just going to skip this video because it's very stupid.
Why are we settling? Why is it when we get to our 30s, people put so much pressure on us when it comes to men dating, being in relationships, like having kids, we then end up settling. I spoke to my mum this.
I can't, guys. I can't. The voice. I can't. I can't. We're just going to skip this video because it's so annoying. So annoying.
5 things I'm not ashamed to admit as a 36-year-old single woman living with my dad. 1, outside my work, I genuinely have no idea what the hell I'm doing with my life, and I'm trying to be kinder to myself about it.
I can tell, ma'am, you're on TikTok eating something in front of a camera. I can tell.
2, I've spent years trusting the wrong people, and for me, my non-negotiable in a relationship is emotional safety. 3, I still don't know if I want to have kids. Some months I do, some months I don't.
Points to her for not chewing on camera. Points for her.
And I'm learning to make a decision from love, not pressure or from time.
It can't just be me. It can't just be me. Like I love.
It's not only you, ma'am. Just in this video, it's like 20 other women, 30 other women, I don't know.
Long for that connection with somebody that like go for a walk on the pier or go for a jog or go get coffee and sit and enjoy their company. But like, I don't do the roster. I don't have a roster. I don't want a roster. I'm a one person at a time kind of person, and it doesn't seem to work that way anymore.
It's easy, ma'am. If you want that kind of guy, just find a geek that is into Pokemon or Star Wars, that doesn't have time to think about other women or talk to other women because he's trying to grow his collection. That's the kind of man that you should date, ma'am.
Like, am I missing out? Am I just not clued in with how dating goes nowadays? Because, like, it didn't used to feel so hard.
3.
Of course, this is what I'm telling you. The older you get, the harder and harder it is. I can show you these guys on TikTok. Women in their early 20s aren't complaining so much about dating as women in their 30s. Because in their 20s, it's easier to find a guy. But older women, instead of giving good advice to younger women or women in their 30s, it's okay to be single. Don't worry, Prince Charming will just fell from the sky, of course.
Things I do not do as a single woman in her 30s. Number 1, I do not audition for roles that I did not ask to play. So if you're looking for a therapist, a savior, a stand-in mother, you've reached the wrong casting department.
It's the same with men, ma'am. We can say, well, you shouldn't be looking at a man as a provider, as a protector, as a money bank. You shouldn't look like that at a man. It's the same way, ma'am.
I am personally booked and unavailable. Number 2, and this one is so important. I do not do almost. I don't do almost committed. I don't do almost available. I don't do almost healed. I do not do potential. I do present. 3, I will not abandon myself to be chosen.
So clearly she has her standards and she knows exactly what she wants. And if you're not perfect exactly like she imagined, she won't change at all for you because you have to do everything for her. She doesn't care. Okay, we're just going to skip this video because it's very, very, very stupid.
So let's talk a little bit about dating. As a woman in her 40s that's been married and that has dated, it's not that easy. I've talked to several of my girlfriends as well as guy friends about dating, about using apps, about meeting people through recommendations, and all I can say is, and this goes vice versa as well, if someone wants to text you, they will. If someone wants to call you, they will. If someone wants to arrange a date and see you, they will.
It's so easy. If they really like you and if they're sure about you, wanting a relationship with you, they will show you. If they're not showing you this, it's because they're not that into you. For whatever reason, it doesn't matter.
If it's really difficult, if someone isn't calling you, if you're waiting 24 hours for a text, if they don't want to plan anything and just say, let's just catch up, they're probably not that into you.
Exactly.
You're gonna have to do what's best for you, even when it feels like shit. You have to understand that what you tolerate and allow in your life is what you will get.
True. If you tolerate men that have a lot of red flags, that show you that they have red flags, but you ignore them, it's your fault. It's not the guy's fault. It's not the universe's fault. It's your fault because you allowed that relationship to happen, even though you saw the signs. If you're in a relationship right now and you see red flags, and I mean important red flags, not shit red flags because she doesn't like the same music as me or something like that, then get out of that relationship. Oh, but it's hard. Oh, but I love her. Then when she leaves, you will suffer and you can't complain to anybody. Oh, she left. Oh, she cheated. You did this with your own 2 hands, my guy.
When someone shows you who they are,
yeah.
When someone shows you that they don't care, when someone manipulates you, when someone is back and forth with you, hot and cold with you, whatever the circumstances may be.
Believe them. It's a red flag. It's a red flag. No, he's just bipolar. I don't care. Being bipolar is a red flag. Leave.
Walk away. Do what you have to do. And it's not going to feel good. It's going to hurt because there's a bond there. There's some sort of bond there. I understand.
But it will be 10 times easier than you wasting a year more or 2 years more, a lot of money, I don't know, maybe losing your house, maybe getting married, maybe losing your kids, I don't know. You can lose so much more in the future than you can do now in the present. Much, much, much more. And just think about years of your life wasted.
But you have to.
And why do I say this? Because I went through that. I spent years on women that weren't worth it. Just because they look good. Just because I was a simp. Don't be like me. I wasted over 6 years of my life. For what? For shit.
You have to. You can't continue to let people walk and stomp all over your heart and make you feel badly about yourself because they are unhealed. You can't do it.
I was talking to my therapist about dating and I'm like, listen, I'm getting the feeling that I'm cooked. I'm getting the feeling that I may be single forever. And I said, I was stressing this week. I I don't know. And she's like, well, how are you meeting people? And I said, I did go on Hinge and we matched, but he said he's going to pick me up at 7 and he just never showed up. So I just like stopped doing that. And then I said, well, I'm like kind of meeting people through friends. And I was like, how did you meet your husband? Because I'm invasive and I want to know about my therapist's life. And she was like, we met at a charity event. And
so she was a gold digger. She went to charity events because she knew that's the place where wealthy people are. From the start, a gold digger.
And I was like, that's like low-key the coolest thing. And she was like, you need to go to like galas and charity events because one, you're not going to find any broke men there.
What did I tell you? And I didn't listen to the video when I heard charity. And she's right. Usually at charities, there aren't broke men there.
These are very sophisticated, educated men that want to help change the world, that want to donate. And that's how I met my husband.
So it's come to my attention that if you are a single 30-year-old in this generation,
okay,
you're pretty much cooked. And here's why. So I've been single for about a year now, but prior to that, I was single for 6 years. So if there's anyone that has a little singleness expertise, I feel like I would give myself credit. And this is what I've noticed. So 30-year-old women are doing different hobbies than 30-year-old men.
Of course.
So there's not a lot of crossing paths, right?
This is why I tell you guys, men and women think totally different, but women expect us to think exactly like them. If they don't like something, we shouldn't like that. But it doesn't work like that because we think so differently.
Right? And the other thing is that we are 30. We are tired. Most of us work 9 to 5, right? We do what we have to do. We log in if you work from home, or if you still commute to an office space, you're in traffic, you're tired.
You have less time for going on dates. You have less time for bullshit. Yeah.
If you don't have kids, you really don't have much responsibility than just to come home and do whatever you want.
I think part of the issue with dating is that we feel very isolated in our experience, and therefore we start to think something is wrong with us. I'm writing a dating book, a dating guide called Let's Fucking Date.
Another woman that is single, that can't get the man that she wants, but yet she's writing a dating book. Are we in the Twilight Zone? How to become a millionaire. Let me write a book, but I'm broke. I don't know how to make money, but I'll write a book how to become a billionaire or a millionaire or whatever. It's so stupid. Only on TikTok you see things like this. We're just going to skip this video because it's so stupid. So stupid.
Feels like every single person in my life is either engaged, married, or just married, or getting married, or pregnant, or just had a kid, or is about to have a kid.
Yeah.
It is ostracizing.
Yeah, it's overwhelming to open up Instagram sometimes.
Yeah.
Who forced you to be single till this age, ma'am? Why didn't you settle down in your 20s when you had all the advantages in the world? When you could get the most men? Why? Why are you waiting till now and now complaining? Did somebody force you? No, ma'am.
Yeah. And you kind of second guess yourself when it's just
yeah, you're like, oh, I do want that right now. I better get looking. So I'm 32, 33. In 2 more years, like I probably should be pregnant.
Yeah.
But let's look at the current state of the dating climate.
So they don't understand that each year they age, it gets harder and harder. And you say, oh, in 2 years I should probably settle down. In 2 years it will be harder than now. If now you can't find somebody that to settle down, you won't in 2 years, ma'am. Or the probability will be a lot less.
Shall we? And
babe, don't even like.
What do you make of it right now? Because it's different to how it was 5 years ago.
Yes, ma'am, because you were younger. It was easier. You had a lot more men coming up to you, taking you on dates. 5 years from now, it will be even harder, ma'am. I don't understand how they don't understand logic. And you marry women like this that have no logic, and then you wonder why they broke up, why they cheated, because they have no logic.
So different.
Disgusting in there. and the worst thing too is like, again, this is why like my sign that I think I need to do a bit more healing before I date again.
Just listen to what words they're using. Signs, healing. It's so stupid, it has nothing to do with logic. They haven't read any studies. They haven't done any research. They haven't interviewed men to ask them, 100 men, what do you want? No. We're just going to skip this video because it's very stupid.
I have just started to wonder, when do you realistically stop thinking that you're going to find someone? I just turned 30.
The older you get, ma'am, the more comfortable you are being single. And at some point you will just give up.
And I am super active on dating apps. And I was talking to this guy all week. Really lovely person. We have so much in common. We were talking till 10:30, 11 p.m. some nights. I really got to know him. And then I just thought, whatever, I'll ask him on a date. And the response I got from him was that,
Ma'am, if he didn't ask you from the start on a date, it's because he didn't like you that much. That's why.
it was many hours after I'd sent it. He said back that, sorry for the delay. He was actually on a first date with someone and it went really well.
This is what happens when men ghost you. They found somebody better, but because they ghost you, they're not going to tell you that.
He wants to pursue that. And that's fair. I suppose I appreciate the heads up, but just to get to know someone and to click with someone and for it to happen over and over again and just to never be the one that's chosen. At some point I just kind of wonder, is this just not meant for me?
That's how many men feel, ma'am.
So for me, I guess what makes dating, being a dentist, more difficult is I'm not impressed by how much you're spending. Like, I'm not in it so that you can buy me things, because the things I need, I just buy myself. I'm very independent. I really am looking for a partner. Show me emotional intelligence.
Have you ever thought that maybe the man that you're looking for doesn't want a partner? Maybe the man that you're looking for doesn't want an independent boss bee that makes TikToks like this. Maybe, just maybe, the man that you want, ma'am, doesn't want a woman that talks about emotional intelligence. And she actually thinks she's smart when she talks about that. Do you understand, ma'am? Maybe, just maybe, or maybe I'm stupid.
Show me that you're vulnerable. The whole ego thing, like blah, 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 and this like tough exterior.
She's talking about ego while she's listing how good of a person she is, how independent she is, that she's a dentist and she's not impressed by men. We're just going to skip this video because it's very stupid.
When you're 30 and you don't want kids also adds a whole nother level to dating, because I hear like the girls who want kids, they're always like, I can't find anyone who wants kids. I can give you a whole handful because I can't find anyone who doesn't want kids. I am off all of the dating apps because
the majority of men that are trying to be in a serious relationship or want marriage also want kids.
Because honestly, I really don't want to date right now. The only thing I am on is Facebook dating, which yes, Facebook has like a dating thing. I usually don't have a filter, like a location filter, so I match with guys from like everywhere. Like I probably get on it maybe once or twice a month just to see like any messages I have or to see if like anyone piques my interest. And guys, I'm sorry, are so judgy when a woman does not want kids. Like, why do you care?
Men are so judgy. Well, she enters once or twice a month to see how many men she has in her DMs to choose from the men that she likes. But the men are judgy. Well, she judges everybody and just chooses a few to respond to, and the rest they don't even look at the message. But the men are judgy. Logic. We're just going to skip this video because it has no logic.
So we got married when we were 20, and he kind of became like a child once we got married, like stopped doing all the things that we did when we were dating. So I was kind of very lonely. He was in the military, so he would leave for deployments. And on one of the deployments...
Have you ever read a study about the divorce statistics when you date a guy in the army? No, but yet you complain afterwards. Oh, well, I didn't know. It's your job to know. It's your job to find out. Because you're marrying that guy.
When we moved, I was alone for a while, and I ended up getting into this wild affair with one of like my old friends from high school, and it lasted 2 years after he came back. I had a kid with my husband in between that time, and
so I was cheating on my husband, but I also made a kid with my husband. Okay.
I decided that I didn't want to be with the guy that I was in an affair with, so I ended up breaking it off, and I told my husband that I had an emotional affair with him because I was really worried that he would become like physically violent and potentially go after the guy that I ended up having an affair with. So I just kind of kept it quiet, and 3.5 years later, my husband asked me last month, hey, was it actually an emotional affair? And I figured now was the best time to be clean and live with integrity. So I told him, and now it's just been trying to work through it. So I don't really know what to do, John.
I tell you what you should have done, ma'am, in the past. You shouldn't have gotten married with a guy that is in the army, that has a probability to be away from you for a long time, long periods of time. Because you had to think from the start, oh, I will be lonely in those periods. But you didn't care. You saw the red flags, you ignored them, then you cheated, then you made a kid with your husband, and now you're trying to fix things. Why are you trying to shit in your house and then clean the shit? From the start you should not shit in the house. Doesn't that make sense logically? No. I'm stupid. I'm the stupid one.
I gotta say, I don't think you're living with integrity yet. Can I tell you why? I know it's hard to hear. I'm just telling you because I love you. I don't think you're there yet. Here's why. Your first question you asked me is, how do I live with integrity after an affair? And I asked you what happened. And the first 1, 2, 3, 4 things you told me about was something your husband did 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Living with integrity, the root word of integrity, it's integer, it's whole. I'm complete. And that wholeness and completeness for anybody starts with ownership. And so it starts with this idea, not that he started acting like a child and he stopped doing those things and then he went to serve our country and left me. And so then this thing just kind of happened.
No, it's your fault from the start. You were the stupid one. Nobody forced you to do this. You did it with your own hand. People that are stupid don't get prizes in life. They get shit in their house.
Ownership after infidelity is, I don't care what environment I was in, I chose to sleep and have sex with somebody else.
True.
That I wasn't married to.
Hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.